In the depths of the underworld, Hades, the god of the dead, sat upon his throne, his dark eyes gazing out upon the shadows. His realm was a place of silence and cold, where the shades of the dead dwelled. Yet on this day, his thoughts were not of the dead, but of the living. He had seen her, Persephone, the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of fertility and agriculture. Her laughter was as music to his ears, her smile a ray of sunlight in the darkness. He was captivated by her beauty, her grace, and her kindness. For the first time in eternity, he felt a spark of life within his cold heart. Hades knew that he had to make her his queen. He summoned his chariot, drawn by 4 majestic black horses, and emerged from the underworld, his presence shrouded in darkness. As Persephone wandered through a lush meadow, lost in thought, Hades snatched her from the world above, spiriting her away to his realm. Demeter, frantic with grief, searched the earth for her beloved daughter but found no trace. She consulted the gods, but none knew of Persephone's fate. In her despair, Demeter's sorrow became so profound that it threatened to wither the very earth itself. In the underworld, Persephone found herself in a strange, desolate land, surrounded by the shades of the dead. Hades, though stern and unyielding, treated her with a gentleness he had never shown before. He showered her with gifts and attention, hoping to win her heart. Persephone, however, remained steadfast in her desire to return to her mother and the world above. As the seasons passed, Demeter's grief only deepened, and the earth began to wither and die. Zeus, fearing the consequences of his sister's sorrow, intervened, sending Hermes, the messenger god, to the underworld with a plea: return Persephone to her mother, that the earth might once again flourish. Hades, though reluctant to relinquish his beloved, knew he could not defy the king of the gods. He agreed to release Persephone, but not before devising a plan to ensure her return. He offered her a pomegranate, its seeds as red as the blood that flowed through his veins. Unbeknownst to Persephone, the fruit was a binding contract, ensuring that she would spend part of each year by his side, ruling the underworld as his queen. And so, the compromise was struck. Persephone would spend 2/3 of the year with her mother Demeter, and the remaining third with Hades, her husband. As she ascended from the underworld, her mother's joy was reborn, and the earth burst forth in vibrant colors, its fertility restored. Yet with each winter's chill, Persephone's departure from the world above would be felt, her mother's sorrow echoing through the land. And in the underworld, Hades would await her return, his heart still beating with a love that refused to fade, a testament to the enduring power of passion and devotion. In the silence of the underworld, Hades would often whisper Persephone's name, his voice echoing off the cold stone walls. And though she was gone, her memory lingered, a bittersweet reminder of the love they shared. For in the world of the dead, even the king of the underworld was not immune to the pangs of love and longing. In the underworld, Hades ruled with a fierce devotion, his heart belonging to Persephone alone. He would often wander the banks of the river Styx, his thoughts consumed by memories of their time together. The shades of the dead would whisper stories of their love, and the ferryman, Charon, would smile knowingly, for he had witnessed the passion that burned between the king and queen of the underworld. In the world above, Persephone would often gaze up at the sky, her thoughts drifting to the husband she left behind. She would whisper his name, her voice carried away by the wind, a gentle breeze that rustled the leaves of the trees. She would close her eyes, remembering the touch of his hand, the way he smiled at her, and the love that burned in his eyes. As the seasons passed, Persephone's love for Hades only grew stronger. She would often find herself lost in thought, her mind wandering to the underworld, where her heart remained with her husband. And though she was torn between her love for her mother and her love for Hades, she knew that she could not be without him. In the underworld, Hades waited patiently for Persephone's return. He would often sit on his throne, his eyes fixed on the entrance to the underworld, his heart beating with anticipation. And when she finally arrived, Her beauty shining like a beacon in the darkness, he would rise from his throne, his arms open wide, ready to embrace her once more. Their love was a flame that burned bright, a fire that could not be extinguished by the forces of fate. And though they were separated by the boundaries of life and death, their love remained strong, a bond that could not be broken. As the ages passed, the legend of Hades and Persephone grew, a tale of love that transcended even death itself. And though the world above may have forgotten the story of the king and queen of the underworld, their love remained, a shining example of the power of true devotion. In the end, it was not the darkness of the underworld that defined their love, but the light that shone brightly in the midst of that darkness. For even in the depths of the underworld, love can flourish, and two souls can become one, their hearts beating as a single, unbreakable whole. And so, the love story of Hades and Persephone continues, a testament to the enduring power of love, a reminder that even in the darkest depths of the underworld, love can conquer all.